Welcome to this mishmash of videos that I will play in mostly chronological order, where I, Claire, a 43-year-old autistic therapist and artist, will tell you about the things that I've learned over the last year since I uploaded my first YouTube video and sort of committed to wanting to build something before deciding, oh no, we need to put all of this down, it's too much. There's a couple of vulnerable videos of me talking to camera at specific moments throughout the year. There's also a lot of countryside, a lot of flowers, some skies, some animals, and there's a particular bush that I took a great liking to. I've drawn it a few times, and I have many photos and videos of it to share with you. My biggest lesson, which is also related to my autism diagnosis and perimenopause, is the importance of rest, the structure of my time, and radical acceptance of my energetic capacity. Specifically about YouTube, the constant thinking about content. Should I film this? When will I film next? Do I need to write a script for this? What order should I do things? How will I best feed the algorithm? This increased the burnout that I'd started the year with, and I took October, November, and December off doing anything besides seeing my clients because I'd overloaded myself and I had very little energy for anything. And I'm happy to say that now, in January 2026, I feel the benefits of having put everything extra down. And just this week, compiling things for this video, I've noticed that I can wind myself up with my perceived bigness of the project. So I had to reality check what it is that I'm doing, why, and how busy my brain needs to be with it. This will be a skill that will come in very handy in the coming weeks and months. Because I can be an unreliable narrator about the work that needs doing or has been done, I've just this week decided to record the hours that I work. People often think, and I can be guilty of it too, that a therapist's work hours are just those they spend in session with a client, and this couldn't be further from the truth. Add that to me specifically wanting to develop additional streams of income, work hours also become writing, filming, editing, planning, and add to that my artistic ambitions. And I actually filled my hours with a lot last year, but I hadn't acknowledged that, which I think was the number one contributor to my burnout. Since November, I've used a tally chart to record all the beneficial little habits I do every day or want to do every day, and I've just added the number of work hours onto it. It's probably not okay to say that this is okay if this is what you end up doing for nearly 2 hours once you get in from a day. It wasn't even a hard day. It was actually a very lovely day. But there's obviously been an undercurrent of something that's taken more energy than I had. And this is what we do and have been doing for nearly 2 hours. I really want to go and get some food. And what I'm actually doing is texting people complaining about not going and getting food. And I want to say that that's okay because this is what my body is needed to do and my brain is needed to. But it's not okay because I want to get some food. I want to use my evening. I want to enjoy my evening. I also quickly learned it's inconvenient and annoying to record everything. This informs my need and resolve to plan, make decisions, and not randomly film whatever for bonus B-roll, except for my art. I will just record more of my art process. Not all of it, though. Once I'd uploaded my solstice vlog, I went back to rewatch last year's, and I discovered my unreliable memory. Last year's Dawn Till Dusk video was not for solstice. It was inspired by a shamanic medicine walk, and I did it in November. I also found I spoke about many of the same things in that video. This is helping me motivate me to make more videos because I'm fascinated about the way that I remember things, or not, and to see my growth in issues like fitness, planning, and creativity. I also just love having this visual and audible record of a pivotal time in my life, and I think this has set in motion a habit that I will continue for decades, all being well. I quickly noticed my mood dip when I didn't get as many views or likes on my latest upload. I've caught this early and I've committed to consciously appreciating the people who are watching and are commenting, not lamenting the ones that aren't, because honestly, the people that have taken the time to comment have said the most lovely things, and each watch is a whole human being that has spent their time watching or listening to something I've created, and I never want to lose the appreciation for that. More views and subscribers and comments is inevitable, but YouTube metrics will not be my focus, they will be my direction. This way! Connected to this, the way I think about my life and the activities I engage in and why, I could easily think, and have done, how do I make this pay? And that's not a healthy road to go down. So I'm only creating for the love of creating, or recording an event, or helping other people and myself. The money is a necessary part of it, but it's not my driver. Influencers who teach about strategy and building a following and an income from creating will talk about the need to treat it like a job or a business, and that you can't use not feeling like recording as a reason not to show up and do it. Now, whilst those words make sense to me and I have tried to use this approach, I don't know whether it's neurodivergence, demand avoidance, or hormones, but I cannot make myself do anything creative unless the vibes are right. This is true for dancing, painting, and even singing. I know I love those things, but I also know that if my energy or my mood is low, dancing will overstimulate me. I can't control colours in my brush if I paint, and I just flat out refuse to sing. Sometimes I feel so non-speaky that I won't or can't ask Google to stop playing music, and instead I'll turn my phone on to do it manually. This probably also explains why I'm self-employed and bristle at the idea of having a job again. I'm not sure I'm capable now that I've unmasked. So I know forcing myself to film when I'm not feeling it is a false economy because I will just have to redo it. I don't know what the solution is. Should I have a tough couple of weeks? So I suppose the lesson for now is don't force it and trust that the process is processing, and I will be able to make a video each week. Something that I think will help with that is a New Year's resolution that I've set, which is specifically a resolution and not an intention, because I am going to do it rather than I intend to do it, is scheduling work time for me. Outside of my client hours, I have all the time for me, but I also have all the possibilities of what to do with that time, and I can get overwhelmed and then freeze. I learned last year that I don't do well with scheduling specific tasks in time slots in my calendar because I'll either ignore them or find something better to do. But I have noticed that no matter what is happening in my day, my mood, my energy, if I have a client session booked, I'll be there on time, engaged, present, and effective for that hour. So I've started booking hours in for me. I know I can do it for others, so I must be able to do it for myself. And even if I can't be bothered or it feels hard, it's only an hour and I can afford myself the same consideration and commitment I give to my clients. It's only been a week and a bit, but it's working so far and I haven't felt the need to push against it. When re-watching the mushroom trip report that I am about to show you a clip of, it reminded me of something that happened in December around not speaking up for my needs when they inconvenience someone else. It's been a real theme across the last year or so that as a hyper-independent person in burnout, spending a lot of time alone and working out who I am in this new menopause and autistic identity, being clear on my likes, needs, and boundaries, that I'm very happy to speak up for what I want, what is important, and what I need, except if it displeases someone else. Then I can get caught up in overthinking, I'll feel anxious, sometimes overwhelmed, and mostly I won't say anything and hope for the best. I noticed this at the end of the year when discussing accommodation that was needed for 4 of us for a weekend away. I didn't speak up for what I know is an important requirement for my well-being, and I only realised how important when I felt the relief that I'd got what I needed, even though I didn't say it out loud. The trip report described something similar, although with a cat, of all things, but the theme or the process was the same. And I know I still have trouble standing up for my needs if it conflicts with someone else's. This people pleaser is not recovered yet. What's clear this time that wasn't before? What's clear this time that wasn't before? is that I'm okay. I think is, I mean, that's what I was about to say. um, that when I do feel insecure, or when there's a fear, when there's that rise of, oh fuck. This time it's much less of an, oh fuck, we shouldn't be doing this. Oh fuck, I feel silly. There was a little bit of that right at the start, but that's not here now. Um, Now when there's any kind of wave of anything that feels uncomfortable, unpleasant, I am able to be with it, with me. And like when I was asleep or not asleep, whatever it is that was happening, I felt like I was a part of something that was comforting, and therefore, see, and that did feel separate from me, who's speaking now. But the sort of the safety, the comfort, the it's okay, we're gonna be okay. I know that this picture tickled me before. It doesn't tickle me quite so much as it did before. Now I'm thinking, do I just want to write these things down now rather than revisiting this video? But I think revisiting the video is part of the process. Music will be at Boomtown. Hopefully the air will feel the temperature that it is now. The sun will be setting. It's 8:05. I hope they're on at 8 o'clock. I think this is relief. I've got myself here. I don't really know I'm okay. And I don't think I've ever known that. Maybe a little bit here and there. But there's something now in this trip. I'm grounding myself in the certainty. Now I'm okay. I'm so glad I've got this on film. I'm okay. And I believe that. And I know that. Having spreadsheets for content and art and for finances, downloading my videos straight away, and organizing my digital files is something I've tried a couple of times but kept getting lax with. Now that I'm back and committed to a year of content creation on YouTube to reach monetization, I've sorted my files, have a tally chart sort of reward system going, I've started to build some spreadsheets, and hopefully this will keep me on track and disciplined with this. Movement is so important for my well-being, so if I'm agitated but not up for dancing, I can always go for a walk. Starting last January after an event that Ali Abdul hosted, I incorporated a daily morning 20-minute walk into my routine. In the last 3 months of 2025, I did it basically every day, and I can't live without it now. I think I've trained my body to crave it. I can't believe it took 9 months to become fixed into my physical being, but I guess that's how long slow processing is. Another small habit I began was jumping 50 times a day. You might have seen people doing that on Instagram or TikTok, and I've been journaling daily for a couple of years. This has shown me that I can learn and incorporate new things into my routines. I just need to make sure they're small enough that they don't trigger a pushback response. It's frustrating to know that I can be so sensitive and want to be defiant even against myself, but being frustrated doesn't change that it's true. Generally, I've got the hang of what works for me and the space in mind to notice and adapt if something doesn't work. I can't do 4 different things in a day, and if I do, I certainly can't do it 2 days in a row without causing a shutdown. This has taught me how important structure and grouping together similar tasks are when I'm planning my time, and it has become abundantly clear that I need to plan my time because if I just wing it, I'll get distracted or scattered, or the infinite possibilities of what I could do whir around in my head using my precious energy for not much good. So, to that end, I've streamlined my client days so that I can allocate filming and writing days plus art time, and combining them in a considered way rather than a chaotic way, which hopefully will see me better manage my ideas, energy, and income in 2026. One of my biggest lessons from 2025, and not necessarily linked to uploading content, but I want to put it in this video so I can hear it back, is the power of presence. I attended 5 silent conversations with Mark McCartney in April, and it changed my life. The possibility, power, and value of simply being present with an other can be transformative, which as a therapist I already knew on some levels, but there's something about this way of doing it that is significant. Being conscious of presence has become a grounding place for me, something I come back to in times of insecurity, uncertainty, and overwhelm.
I am so nervous. All I want to do is just go run down there with my goose, run around a little bit and film it. But down there is like, I don't know, 50 meters away. It's not very busy right now. It's 7:30. But I just saw a real life human walking where I'm going to go to. I'm like, nope, I'm just going to wait. And they've got a massive camera. So, like, they totally get, presumably, artistic vision and all of that. But right now, I'm just like, so I'm not doing it just yet. I'm going to wait until this photographer's gone wherever they're going. And maybe I'll do it.
The confidence I've gained from putting myself out there on Instagram and YouTube also gave me the confidence to be a guest on Mark's podcast, What is a Good Life? Hopefully there'll be more appearances with other people this year because I really enjoyed it. My next lesson. I believe in the power, validity, and importance of art. And not just theoretically now, because it's become an embodied sensation and I can see and feel through these platforms that art in all its forms is valuable and necessary. Some say revolutionary. And I've embarked on an artivism project where I am drawing or painting the portraits of 100 people who have been photographed or filmed attending protests. I'm currently on 48 and I'm so proud of myself for sticking with it this far. Pat on the back is due. I really like making stuffed dates. I learned I like to eat them in May 2025 and I've made them most months since. They are my chosen snack to take to parties now. I've also learned it's actually quite fun making videos, and editing them is about the only thing currently that I can get so sucked into that I lose time and the feeling in my legs. But I do need to get more intentional and less self-conscious with my filming. So far, there's been a lot of point and shoot and hope for the best out of a bunch of blurry, poorly lit clips. I've also learned I need to choose one platform to concentrate on because of the aforementioned burnout and too many options. So I've chosen YouTube because it's the one that pays. I will post on the others, but more casually and with less effort on the planning. I like doing book reviews, and I love that I've given myself permission to do things the way I want to, which includes the way I annotate and narrate my book reviews, but also with anything else I make, just because I've chosen to make it. Verbal processing is important for my well-being and comprehension. Turns out, also for my memory and learning. I recorded my thoughts after therapy last year, and I recorded my final therapy session. When I thought I'd lost the recording, I was sad, but I knew that it had been a good session, that my therapist had said lovely things, and that I left feeling encouraged and supported, which are good things to know. But once I found the recording and listened to it, I learned more about the specifics of what happened, the specifics of the words that were said, and this emphasized the goodness that I took from it. Trusting the process allowed me to notice the moment on my walk at the start of this year when it landed clearly in my mind that my YouTube channel, and probably other content, specifically writings on Substack, will be built around 4 pillars: autism, menopause, art, and long walks. These are all important things to me. They're all valuable things that you can learn about from me, and having the structure is my foundation. It's not something I could have planned. In fact, I tried to plan it many times. I have so many brainstorming spider diagrams and lists of all the ideas, but I've learned that when I'm learning or doing something new, I can't make it happen any faster than my system will allow. This is good knowledge to have because when I want to quit in frustration, I can allow that feeling, but know that if I stick with whatever I'm doing, in this case, learning how to edit videos and posting on YouTube, eventually all the parts that are floating around in me will drop into some kind of order, just like they did on my walk. So now that I have my 4 pillars, the ideas of content I'd like to make have something to orient around. And finally, there is a taste for slow, long, quiet, gentle footage on YouTube videos. I learned this from watching and reading the comments on the POV channel, and more recently, comments I've had on my own stuff, that in this fast paced, dopamine seeking, constantly changing landscape, people are weary and are seeking calm beauty. I hope to bring some of that, along with my wit, unusual thoughts, a bit of research, my experiences, and that which I've gleaned from life around me, some inspiration for analog life, ironic on this digital platform, I know, some reassurance that it's not just you, and some cool art. A bonus learning that I didn't get from uploading to YouTube, but I'm sharing it here anyway. In life and growth and self development, it's not about the people, though it is, especially when choosing who you spend your time with, but it's about what the people bring or teach us, or the process we're engaged in with those people. The same lessons we need to learn will come from wherever is available, not necessarily from who you think it would if you were in charge of the processing, but the lessons you need to learn will be taught wherever and however you are. My resolution this year is to upload every Friday, which I've already failed on this second video, but I've also failed to plan this week's content because it's my first week back at work and I hadn't found a rhythm yet. And it was also very busy and I hadn't done any of the things or many of the things that I've just talked about in this video. But because I've talked about them in this video, that's my verbal processing. I know now what it is that I'm doing, when, and why. Ultimately, I've spent a year trying many things, thinking about more of them, getting frustrated, finding out what works, having a lot of fun, understanding my busy processes, and learning to accept who and how I am. I've stopped when things got too much and listened to my body, regrouped and refined, and I'm at a place where I'm embracing what is and working with that. I'm grateful for the 50 people who have chosen to follow along, and I don't ever want to take any of them for granted. It's 11:11, and I just got an email from somebody that listened to the podcast that I did. It got released yesterday. They've listened to it, and they've just emailed me to tell me how much they enjoyed it and how it touched them. I haven't even finished reading the email yet because I want to capture this minute. I think it's an important moment in my history for me to be able to look back on, but also, should I ever share this on Tinternet, this is the value, the importance, the significance of sharing your thoughts with people. If they do something, if they create something, if they are sharing a part of them somewhere and you receive that and it connects with you, tell them. It's such a lovely feeling. I started this YouTube channel to share my autism assessment journey. It's become clear that menopause and autism is still shrouded in so much uncertainty, shame, and misinformation, but it's a big part of many people's lives, and I want to help demystify and support people if I can. Art has returned to my life, and I am determined to keep it, so that will be a part of my content because it's an important part of my life, and if I'm using it for activism, well, that's helpful too. Thank you for watching. I'd love to hear what you thought about my thoughts. Ta-ra!